Hi, Anson Garcia with Verizon. Today we're going to be looking at a Skype for Business user joining a Webex meeting. What is all that about? I recently got asked to demo this by an account team and got asked by another account team about it and now got asked by marketing about it. So I thought I'd put all this together, or I got it working in the lab, and I really want to document it for myself and for you guys, just to show you the user experience. What does it look like? How does it work? What's going on in the background? And another how is, how do we configure it and make it work inside Webex Meeting Center Admin Portal? There's some things that we need to tweak there to make it work. Let's go over to the whiteboard. I'm going to sketch it out real quick. We're going to see what I'm talking about, and then we'll get right into it. I have a couple of slides for you, and then obviously have a demo so you can see for yourself how this stuff works.
Okay, what are we talking about here? We are talking about, let's say on this side, we have a laptop here, and this is a Skype for Business user. All right, that's a pretty lame laptop. And then, I don't know, maybe we have a Polycom room system here. Let's draw a little kiosk there. This is a big room system. And this is also a Skype for Business. All right, let's draw the big bad Wild Wild West internet here. And obviously, as part of the internet, or connected to the internet, we have this Webex collaboration cloud where all these meetings take place, right? There's bridges in there, there's MCUs and all these things. On the other side, let's draw our laptop here. This is a Webex user, and using the Webex, let's say, web app. Okay, and they're joining a meeting. They have a little camera there as well. This is a laptop. And maybe we have a room system. Okay, we have a Cisco room system. Let's do an SX10. Let's see how good I can do an SX10, or an SX20, I should say. Okay, and this is joining Webex too. So let's use red. Okay, so this on the let me draw make sure that we know this is Webex as well. So we're talking about audio, video, and content. Okay, when I mean content, I mean sharing screen, sharing PowerPoints, things like that. And how does this thing take place? Well, on the Webex place, we know that we, somehow get out to the internet and get out to these bridges that are all over the world that are in the Webex collaboration cloud. And this Webex user is doing that too. Now, what we're talking about specifically today is how we bring over the left side of the screen into this meeting. So we're having this meeting and we're doing audio, video, and content share. How do we get these guys into that same meeting? And that's what we're going to be covering today, as well as some of my opinions and things on where these newer technologies, Webex Teams and Microsoft Teams, are going, and why they are like they are. Let's leave it at that for now. So that's it. That's what we're talking about. How do we get the people on the left-hand side? And let me put that differently. How do we get people on the left-hand side to natively, or what they're usually accustomed to, because these guys on this side over here, right? These guys on this side, they certainly have meetings all the time. And those meetings happen in where there is another cloud connected to the internet, right? And that's the Office 365 cloud network, I forget what they call it, but they have kind of the same thing. All their workloads, OneDrive and all that, as well as their meetings and things like that, exist in this cloud that's connected to the internet at several different places around the world. But they're used to doing meetings too, or attending meetings too. But they attend meetings. When they attend meetings, right, let's just draw orange here. They connect this way. All right, so we're talking about bringing the left guys over to the Webex collaboration cloud and participating in Webex meetings. Okay, and then one in particular thing I want to say is bringing them in natively. We can't have them do anything weird uh, because that would be different. They need training, and we don't want that. So let's get into the lecture part, and then we'll talk this through, demo it out, and kick the tires on it. Okay, I have a couple of slides for you. Let's take a look at the agenda. We're going to be going through why. Why are we going to do something like this? We're going to go through just a small summary of what Skype for Business is again, what Skype Consumer and Skype for Business is, and how. How do we do it? That's important to know. What in the administration portal do we need to do to bring this experience on or bring these invites into the picture? And then I want to demo the native Skype for Business experience. It's important to know that because where this all culminates to is the experience for the Skype for Business user. And I'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a second. And then we'll demo the Skype for Business experience joining Webex meetings. All right, so these two are really what we're after. Why I want to show you the first one again is because you need to see the native experience. The reason this stuff was developed, the reason this came out was to give native experience for Skype for Business users. Okay, we all know, or as we'll see here in a minute, that we can join Webex meetings without a Skype for Business client. We know that, web app, right? Okay, in a sidebar, in here I'm going to pepper in why Webex Teams and Microsoft Teams are like they are, why the meeting experiences are like they are. Okay, let's go on. Okay, why? Why are we going to do this? Because here's a couple of use case examples that have come to me lately, by the way. The UCaaS customer will be migrating over to UCaaS, all right, with Webex, and they're going to have some elements that are going to either stay in Skype for Business or they're going to move all their meetings to Skype to Webex, and they want to bring those Skype for Business people over before migrating them to UCaaS and Webex meetings. Customer has a mixed environment, so that just goes to the last, sometimes they're going to stay with this mixed environment. And by the way, Skype for Business is here for a long time. I know that I sent out some videos and some information, and Microsoft has been giving out information that Skype for Business is dead and the writing is on the wall. Yes, that is true. But when you have millions of users out there of Skype for Business client at a lot of traditional companies, large companies, they're not going to move overnight. So it's going to be years before we see the end of Skype for Business. Okay, and then you want to be in the know, right? This is why you want to be able to tell your customers. You want to be that trusted advisor. If they have something you see related, you want to know a little bit about what this experience is as far as this particular Skype for Business users joining a Webex meeting. So we definitely want to inform you, or you want to be informed as well. Look, I'm a Cisco guy. What's the big deal? When CMR came out, if you guys remember, if you're familiar with CMR, that's when they said Skype for Business users could join Webex meetings. Well, we said big deal. Anybody can join a Webex meeting because traditionally the Cisco folks that were used to Webex meetings knew that the way they started meetings was a web browser and it was a plug-in. Well, everybody has a web browser and everybody can do a plug-in, although there was some bumpy roads there a few years back on getting that plug-in installed, right? But so we didn't understand this at first. Now, if you flip that around and if you were a Skype for Business user, you didn't understand the WebEx world. Why in the world would I launch a browser to join my meeting? I join meetings inside Skype for Business client. And therein lies the difference. the native experience of a Skype for Business user and the Webex web app experience, right? We've had Jabber for a long time on our desktops, but we never join Webex meetings in Jabber. Of course, we can now, and that's for another video. But that's not traditionally how Webex people operate or join meetings. So just a quick overview of the Skype portfolio here, the consumer side and the Skype for Business side. So first, there's the free consumer side that supports IM voice video, right? This is the free one. Now it does come with meetings, 10 users a meeting, comes with the freemium subscription, and that'll back down to 3 after a trial period. And then you can swipe your card and get more. You can get a PSTN number, you can get PSTN minutes, domestic and international. So that's the way that works. Now Skype for Business is a different product. So there was an on-prem version, and now, of course, part of Office 365, there is a online version. Now, this is much more feature robust in that, cloud PBX, calling plans, and things like that. But just real quick, the way the meetings work, 200 today anyway, 250 participants, only 5 active videos at one particular time, and I've actually read 6. I haven't put it through. I can only do 5 here in the lab, so there might be able to be 6. But basically you get 5, and then along the bottom you'll get the avatars of everybody else. And your active speakers, the prominent active speakers will take the top bar. And there's 2 ways. There's a gallery kind of look, and then there's an active speaker look. The gallery, which is the default, you kind of see all the active speakers along the top, and then there's a little blue bar. If someone's talking, how we in the Webex world, we look for that little phone and a little sound, little lines coming off the phone in the participant list. Skype for Business has a little blue bar, and I hope to show you that too. You can do Skype for Business broadcast up to 10,000 users, very similar to maybe like Event Center or something like that. And then meetings have always had a URI. That's not something that we've always been accustomed to inside the Webex world, right? Again, think URL web app. Now, we are coming around the URI world now, but Skype for Business has always been URIs. Your Skype for Business client dials a URI, and that's how they get into the meeting. Web app to join meeting in case of Skype for Business client. Okay, if you don't have Skype for Business client, Skype for Business also has a web app to join the meeting. You can record at 1080p. That's nice. No cloud recording. Oh, so that's kind of a bummer. We've always kind of said, we've kind of used this in the past as a selling point for Webex, because you've always had cloud recording in Webex Meeting Center. You have whiteboarding. Rudimentary, just like Webex whiteboarding is inside Meeting Center, but functional. A little bit different. Again, in-app stuff here, in-client, I should say. And I'll further define those terms here in a minute. Advanced call routing, back office integration. If you take notes within a Skype for Business meeting, those notes can be ported right into a OneNote automatically, and then that can be shared. If you have a tenant, you can share that very easily with your colleagues. And then all your chats within a meeting in Skype for Business get saved inside your Outlook, inside a folder in your Outlook, which is quite nice. I love that. You ever been on a Webex meeting and someone posts a link and say, "Oh yeah, I posted the link in the to this website in the chat," and then the meeting ends, and then you figure out, "Oh, I don't have the link." The host can send out all those links or all the meeting chat, but that usually doesn't happen. It doesn't happen by default. People aren't accustomed to that. So in the Skype world, they took care of that because it goes right into your Outlook and it happens automatically. So it's always right there at your fingertips if you forget something or forget to write something down that was posted in the chat. Okay, next thing. So how does this stuff work? Very simply. Here's Skype for Business right here. Let's say this is the Skype for Business, hosted hosted site and everyone's dialing in, and all I'm saying here is they dial a URI. So this Skype for Business guy is gonna dial a URI. This guy's gonna dial a URI, and then I put this on here just to see if you catch it here. Look at that little emblem there. That's a Skype for Business consumer. Okay, that's a consumer client. Can the consumer client still join a Skype for Business meeting? You bet. Are they dialing a URI like the Skype for Business guys? Absolutely not. They're using the web app. So be cautious here if Microsoft likes to kind of pepper in, hey, these guys are Skype for Business or Skype consumer guys can join our meetings too. Well, of course they can. They're using a web app. That's always been done in the WebEx world as well. Okay, and then we got two kind of bummer guys over here. They're sad because they can't join the WebEx, or excuse me, the Skype for Business meeting. Or can they? Of course they can, because there is a web app for Skype for Business meetings. So keep that in mind as we go on here. So Skype for Business users join. How to, and I don't know what I was thinking on the topic of that. I need to change that. So what did I mean here? What I meant here is how do Skype for Business clients join a WebEx meeting? Okay, how do they join a WebEx meeting? Now, remember, when I say Skype for Business client, I'm talking about the in-app experience. Again, we know that the guys on the right over here, the Skype for Business guys, they can join with a web app into WebEx meetings. Why would you want to do it this way? Well, because you want to make this little guy happy, right? He's going, woohoo! And he wants to be happy because he doesn't have to learn anything. And it's his native experience. It looks and feels just like he doesn't even know that he's not even in a Skype for Business regular meeting. Now, I'm going to show you some things that don't work here in a minute, but on the surface, the experience is the same, and that's why he's happy. That's why we do this. That's why Cisco came out with this, because you don't want to retrain your Skype for Business users. Okay, so what happens in the background? Let's look at this guy right here. What happens is the Skype for Business clients get kind of redirected. Their technologies, the audio, video, and sharing technologies, does not jive with Cisco WebEx meetings. Doesn't jive. It's different. In fact, they use what they call SVC, and then Cisco uses AVC. Now, AVC traditionally, you'll hear is H.264. These are H.264 formats. AVC is really standards based, and then SVC is a little, they call it a non-standard. It's all semi-standard. Everybody uses this one, and then Microsoft decided to use a little bit different flavor of H.264 and the formatting that it uses. So needless to say, or the only thing you got to know is they don't jive. You can't talk one voice video and content share to the other voice video content share. So they go through a translator. There's the little translator. I drew it right there. How do you get to a translator? You have to dial a different number, or in our case, we have to dial a different URI. When we dial a different URI, how do we get that URI? Because these guys, look closely right there. Hopefully you can see that in my video. If you can't, pull it full screen. But that URI, if you can see, is 123@webex.com. This URI over here, you can see, is 123@link.webex.com. And that's how the magic works. So they just go a different way. It's going to the same meeting, but it's going to this little translator up in the cloud first that Webex Collaboration Cloud hosts. And that's where the magic happens, and these two things get blended together or translated. So voice video content gets translated into voice video content that Webex can understand, and the other way around. The voice video content that Webex is doing gets translated into voice video content that Microsoft Skype for Business client can understand. Okay, so that's how that works. Now, here I just want to show you the invite, what the invite looks like. Right here. Look at this. Right there. You see that is, it says join using Microsoft Link. So it's telling people, hey, if you got Link or Skype for Business, click here, click here. Okay, where we're traditionally looking when in our WebEx meetings, we just usually click on the first thing up here, right? Okay, we have an option now, right? Since CMR came out and we can do URI dialing and things like that, that we got that option too. But this is the one right here. This is the one that we want for the Skype for Business. So we have to do some tweaks to make that go into the invite. This is we're looking at an Outlook invite here that was done with productivity tools, okay? So we need this guy in there, and that's the guy that's going to, the Skype for Business guys are going to click on. Okay, now the question always comes up. Well, can we ship the Skype for Business guys one version of the meeting invite and the WebEx guys another? No, it's one template. So in other words, if the Skype for Business guy opens this invite up and clicks on that, which he can certainly do, that's going to launch the web app, right? And you download the little plugin in Chrome or IE or whatever you're using, and then you're going to go in the way that we're used to, or traditional Cisco WebEx guys are used to. That's changing, but our traditional way, and he's going to be there. It's going to be different for him. He's going to say, "What do I do here? Why do I plug in? What do I need to do here?" Versus his native way, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. So let's take a look at one more device, and that device is a Skype room system. These come in different flavors from different manufacturers, Polycom, Logitech, Creston, but all of them essentially work similarly in that they have a Skype for Business client on them. Now that Skype for Business client is a little bit different, right? It's not a Windows 10 PC. It doesn't have Outlook or anything like that, but it does subscribe and it does have an inbox. It has a mailbox, and that's how they get the join button. My point here is, can this guy go in here? Can he join a WebEx meeting? Yes, he can. Is it different than these two guys? Remember, these two guys are going to get, or I'm going to show you here in a minute, the way they get this URL or URI. That URI is, it comes in the invite, in the Outlook invite. This guy doesn't have a calendar. He doesn't have a Outlook client where he can look in the Outlook client and say, oh, this is the link I need to choose, because it says link here. It says, click here if you're a Link or Skype for Business user. So in this realm here, you have to dial manually the URI, but it does work, and that's my point is, can you bring Skype room systems into WebEx? Absolutely. You can do that, and we're just talking, raw WebEx here. We're not talking, yes, you can do different things and putting different servers on-prem and things like that. I'm talking if you just have nothing, you have WebEx, and you want to join these Skype room systems in to the WebEx. There's a check there for that guy, right? That guy has a browser Outlook, and he can click on the right link. And then this guy's a big check as well, because he can dial a URI specific to the meeting that's going to hit this way and not this way. So how do you enable on the WebEx admin portal? Well, I can talk about it all day, but it's just best to show you. Okay, so let's go over to the WebEx admin portal and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, now let's log into the WebEx admin portal. Let's go over to configuration, email, and email templates. These are email templates that are used when sourced from the WebEx cloud or the WebEx system, your WebEx instance. Okay, if WebEx sends you an email, it uses one of these templates to form that email. Okay, let's go over to WebEx Meetings, and this is what we're interested in. We're interested in this one right here, invitation to a meeting in progress. What a meeting in progress is, that's your PMR. Okay, that's your personal meeting room. Remember, personal meeting rooms are always in progress. They're the constant URI, they're a constant URL. The first time I came in here, I didn't put that together, but someone explained it to me and it made perfect sense. So hopefully it makes sense to you. So the invitation to meeting in progress, productivity tools, that should tell you something. Productivity tools, that means it's sourced from productivity tools. Productivity tools is what fires off this email template. This one as well, right here. So these are the two. And in Collaboration Help, you will find, if you look up link URI, you will find that these are the two email templates that you can use the link URI variable in. Every email template has its own set of variables. They're not global variables. Let me tell you what I mean here. Let's go into this. So this one right here, what we're manipulating is if I use productivity tools to send a meeting invite for my personal meeting room, this is the email template that's going to fire off. And it's broken up into HTML and then some text over here that pulls in some variables. But we have to put this link URI variable, and you can see there's where I put it, right there. And we'll take a look what this looks like here in a minute. But that's the guy right there. Okay, now let's go back, and I just want to show you the other ones the same way. So if you look at this one right here, this one right here also has the link URI. Okay, those are the only two templates you can use link URI. Okay, and again, what does this do? What this does, let me go back to my presentation. We'll see this in the video or a demo, but this is how this gets in here, right here. This was a meeting invite that I used from my PMR, from my productivity tools for my PMR, and you see it put it in there. Let's see, join by phone. You see that join by phone right there? Let's go back over here, and if we look here, I think it's going to be the other one. Yeah, it's going to be this one right here. If we look, what's right before that join by phone? You see that? Okay. That is it. Let's take a look at what this looks like in a demo. Okay, let me close this section of the video out with two links. Here is one. You can pause the video if you need to get it right there. And this link is on Collaboration, Cisco Collaboration Help, and it's titled, How Do I Add the Skype for Business SIP URI and Email Templates to Join from Skype? Okay, that's what we just did in this video, or in this section. I want to point one thing out. There's some good info in here, what Webex Suite is supported, 32.2 and 31.4 and newer. But what I want to point you to is this right here. And if you look right here, it says, site admins have the additional parameter to easily construct a joint link for Skype for Business users and deliver in Webex email invitations. Right, that's what we just said, just looked at, and I'm going to show you the demo in a later section in this video. But when it's scheduled from the Webex desktop app is what I want you to see right here, not the web scheduler. So don't be surprised if a user's workflow is to schedule things in the web scheduler, that it's not going to work. These URIs aren't going to show up. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out, and it takes you through. Here's the, it takes you through what to do here. It doesn't give you exactly where to put it or anything like that. So look at my video for that. The other link right here that I found in Collaboration Help, there's not a lot of info about this, but here's the other link, and it just says, hey, they've got some join improvements. Here's the link URI. Go here, link templates, and then it doesn't tell you exactly what to do, but right here, let's see if I can get my pen. And my pen is not working for some reason. Well, right here in this section here, it just tells you, and you'll see this in the demo, where you have to click on video here. All right, so once you click the link, you'll see in the demo that the kind of a group instant messaging box comes up from Skype for Business, and that's just the default way Skype for Business does it. And then you have to choose, you got to go to the extra step of either joining with via audio or video. Obviously, we want to join via video. Okay, so that's it for this section. Okay, demo time. The first thing I want to show you is what is the native Skype for Business experience inside a meeting or a Skype for Business meeting. Let's check it out. Here we have two users. We have Anson, we have Lynn. These two users then are going to join a Skype for Business meeting. So we're going to go to Anson here, and we're going to go over to, let's go over to Calendar in our Outlook. And you see we have a Skype for Business meeting right here. This is very much like if you're used to Webex productivity tools. So it logs in the background and things like that. It actually doesn't log in itself like Webex productivity tools. It actually relies on the Skype for Business to be logged in. So if you're not logged in Skype for Business, it will kind of fail and it says, hey, you got to launch Skype for Business. So we can just push this button right here, and that will launch a meeting, bring up the meetings form. It'll also put our meeting information right in the body as you see there, and then we'll ship it off. Let's send it to Lynn, and let's also, I have a user down here, look over here to the left. This is Anson Garcia too. We'll call him Anson G, and this Anson G is a Skype consumer user. Okay, so we're going to add him too, just so we see what that experience is like. So it's Anson Garcia at hotmail.com. There we go. Subject, we're going to test. Let's put Skype for Business user experience. All right, we'll do it for 4:30. Let's back it up. Let's just see. Let's do it for 4. Okay, it's a little past 4, and that's it. We'll go ahead and ship that off. Okay, what I'm going to do before we go look at Lynn and Anson G over there, I'm going to go ahead and just open this so you can see the invite. And I'll go ahead and, just like if I were my normal day workflow, would probably either be I would start it in here, or possibly I could be in my Skype for Business. Let's take a look at what this looks like. Remember, Jabber also has a calendar here, and it's integrated with the Outlook. Same here. Okay, and we have a join button right there. Now, let me hover over this just so you can see. If I hover over that, you see that's a URL. That's not a URI, it's a URL. And what happens with this URL, if I were to click this URL, what it would do is launch a program in the background that checks to see if you have Skype for Business running. If it has Skype for Business running, it's going to hand it over to a URI. It's going to dial that URI. If it doesn't, it's going to launch the web app and bring you in that way. Okay, so I just wanted you to see that here. Let's go ahead and join this way. So we'll join from within the Skype for Business client. And let me go ahead and let's put this away so we don't get confused. We'll dismiss that. So Anson Garcia, and we're going to join right here. And you see this is in-app experience. In other words, this is just another window. So we are still in Skype for Business, and we're going to use the Skype for Business. We're going to do full audio and video experience. Yes. Okay, we have now joined the meeting, and we get Anson here. That's a virtual camera, so it actually, that's your self view. Okay, and you see the blue bar right there. Okay, that blue bar is going to mean something here in a minute, so just hold on. Okay, let's go over to Lynn. Lynn's got it as well. We'll go ahead and we'll accept over here. How about that? Normal workflow. Now, Lynn also can double click this. Okay, and this is kind of old hat, right? We're kind of, this is very Webex-like with the productivity tools. We also have the join over here. Now with Lynn, let's go ahead and join this way. So we're going to, we're going to click that. Okay, and we're going to put this away here. And we'll see we get Skype for Business, another window here that came up, and we'll go ahead and do the same things. We're using our VoIP audio and video. And here we go. Now we have Anson and Lynn here, and it automatically muted us. That's nice. So this is the experience that the two Skype for Business users see. All right, and you can see there's a blue bar under Lynn. The reason that blue bar, okay, well it went away now, but let's unmute one of these. Okay, okay, let's unmute Lynn here, and you see the little blue bar. Okay, if I go look at Anson here, you see the blue bar. That means she's talking. Okay, that's what that means. And then that, comes up. There's only two users in here, so she's kind of active speaker, kind of looking. All right. Okay, let's go over and let's go ahead and mute her. And let's go over to Anson G over here. Looks like he got that as well. He got the invite. He'll go ahead and say, yep, I can attend. All right. And then let's ship over to his calendar. Now, look over here to the left. This is Skype. This is a Skype consumer client. Okay, Skype consumer client. Today is the 20th, so I did click on the wrong one there. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to Anson G's calendar here, and we're going to click on this meeting, and let's bring it up. Double click there, and we'll click join the meeting. Now, what's happening here is it's checking locally if I have Skype for Business, right? Because that URL launches a little program. Do you have Skype for Business? No, I have Skype Consumer. Then go ahead and launch the web app. Now, this web app has already been installed. If I had installed it before, we would have said, hey, it would have said, hey, download this little program, just like we do in Webex. If the first time on a PC you're joining Webex, it wants to install a little plugin for your particular browser. So the same thing happens here in Skype for Business. Very, very much the same deal. It asks us for our name there, so the little app, the Edge plugin, we say OK there. Going to be brought right into the meeting. There we are. We're in the meeting. Now we see the two people that are in the meeting, and then our self view is right here, a little bit smaller. Now we're not sending video. One of the things about the web app or the plugin is you have to start video manually. So we'll go ahead and start that so we get our self view. We can see two other folks in the Skype for Business meeting. The one thing I want to show you again is if we unmute, well, let's go take a look at the experience over here. Okay, here's Anson's experience. He sees, or this is Anson Garcia's experience, and we see Anson G there. We see Lynn. We see our self view, small self view. Let's go look at Lynn. She sees Anson Garcia, Anson G, and her self view. Let's go over to Anson and let's see. He's going to unmute his microphone, so let's see the experience here. So we'll go check 1 2, check 1 2. You see our blue bar right there. Okay, let's go look at what Lynn sees. Okay, there we go. We got our blue bar. That means Anson's speaking. So a little bit different than the Webex experience. And then we'll go over to Lynn, and she sees Anson with the blue bar as well. Okay, and then now if we go ahead and mute Anson, and we'll go ahead and go to Lynn. We'll let her start talking. Let's unmute her. Check, check, check. She gets the blue bar there, indicating that she's speaking. And also, let's go over to Anson G here. There we go, and there we go. Now we have some audio coming in. And so that's the experience when using a Skype for Business meeting. Now let me poke around a little bit just so you get the gist of the tools that are available. This is not comprehensive, but I want just to give you a little sample of how things work in here. So you can refer to this video whenever you need to know a little bit more about how things work in Skype for Business Meetings. Here's share your desktop, so I can share my desktop here. Okay, that's going to bring a little title bar up here. My desktop's going to be shared, and then I'm going to get that over here as well. Okay. All right, now if I stop sharing there, let's do something different. Let's share a window. So how about we share the Microsoft Teams application, okay? Let's go over to Lynn, see what she sees. There we have it. We have that sharing window there, and then we have our two smaller videos, our self view here. In fact, I'm going to just put that away. And we have the video of the active speaker, okay? So you see the other video of Anson G out here has gone away. Let's go check out what Anson G sees. He should see the same thing, right? And he does. So that's how that works. Now you can see we got request control, we have actual size, and a few other options there, but that's just about it there. Now, and we get this bar here now is showing this. Okay, we still get this title bar up here that says we're sharing. That's kind of nice that it's up there, and we can give control to either attendee right there. Okay, let's stop sharing that. So you can see what that looks like, and let's go ahead and just go back to Lynn. I just want you to see. We have this stage. This is called the stage. When you start sharing something, this stage comes up. Okay, this guy, the web app, went back to the video stuff. Lynn has to choose to hide the stage. All right, and go back to video. All right, let's go to Anson again. Let's see what other options we have. Share PowerPoint files. We have co-author document together. That's kind of nice. Add attachments. We have shared notes. This is where we can take notes. One note will come up, and that one note then again can be shared on a SharePoint drive with other folks. That's nice. My notes, again, OneNote. We have more here, and I wanted to show you this whiteboard. So we have polls and Q&As here, which is quite nice. This is all in-app stuff. And then we have in-app whiteboard. This is different than the whiteboard that we use over there in Teams and the whiteboard I was talking about, I think, a few months ago on a video. But pretty neat. It's got some good controls here. It's got some good pins and colors and check marks and things like that we can do. So that's kind of nice. And then we'll go ahead and look at the experience over here. There you go. And then the experience in the web app. That's what that looks like. Okay, let's go back to Anson. I'll go ahead and stop sharing that. We'll hide stage, go back to our video. And then we got, I thought there was one more thing. Oh, I want to show you, just like Webex, you have a meeting chat. You know, we have that, remember in Webex you have that chat on the side, or in the new Webex now in 33, you can click on it on the bottom in the tools in the bottom, and that'll bring up a chat with everybody. So I just want you to see that, what that looks like. That's right here. So this chat, okay, and then everyone, of course, in the meeting is going to be able to participate in this chat. There it is. I can click on chat there, and then Anson G is going to get that same indicator right here, and he can go into that chat. All right. Now this chat, kind of to close this thing out here, I'll go ahead and end this meeting. Okay. It goes back to the chat that was going on in the meeting. The participants are here. Let's go over here. This guy's still in the meeting. We're going to close that down. I don't want you to get confused here. I'm just shutting everything down. That's all. And what I'm going to do here is just go back to Let's just close this whole thing out, right? We're done. Okay. The only other thing I want to show you is the chat that was in the meeting. Now, if we go to our mail, and we go to our folders, and we go to conversation history, let's do that again. Conversation history, and let's go all the way up here. Nope, sorry, all the way down. Okay, there's our chat. So kind of neat where you don't forget. You don't have to remember to grab the chat and someone post a link or something like that, and you forget to grab it. You can go back to the conversation history, go back to the meeting name here, and it's going to be in there, and everything, all the chat, any links that were posted are here. So again, I just wanted you to see that full experience. There you go. And if you want to see anything else in this experience, please email me. I can certainly show you that. So that is it on this one. Okay, here we go. We're going to wrap it up here. What is the user experience from Skype for Business side in a Webex meeting? This is it. So let's start with our two Webex users, Jack and Liz. They are UCAS, full UCAS Webex users here. And we'll go ahead and just start from here. This is what we would do, productivity tools. Here we go. We're going to choose here, and let's schedule a personal meeting room. All right, so let's do that. That's going to bring up my meeting form. I'm going to send that to Elizabeth. She's another user within my organization. We're going to send that to Anson as well. That's a Skype for Business user. That's this guy right here. And we'll send that to Lynn as well, another Skype for Business user. So we'll bring two Skype for Business users in and see if their experience is any different from either of those. So let's do 9:25 o'clock is good. Let's back that up to 4:30 since we're about there. And that's it. So remember back when I was in the presentation, when I was talking about the link URI, there it is right there. So we know we're going to be good to go. And hopefully the Skype for Business users know what to click. All right. So let's send that off. Oh, let me put let's say, test Skype for Business user experience in Webex Meeting Center. Okay. We'll send that off. Alrighty. Now, I'll just spend a little time here. You guys already know this. This stuff is old hat here. But we see we get this experience here. And we have two, join in Jabber and join in Webex. Okay, I'm going to go the traditional way, join in Webex. This join in Jabber would be very much like Skype for Business, where it joins with Jabber. Okay, but I won't show you that here. Let's just go ahead and join. Let's fire that off. We're going to join in Webex. Remember, if I click this, it's going to bring my web app up. It's going to bring the plugin up that I've installed in my browser. And in this particular case, the app is already downloaded. When you install productivity tools, it kind of installs that as well. So here we are. We're in Cisco WebEx. We're going to connect audio video. We have our self view here. We're going to go ahead and mute ourselves. All right, let me turn down this volume here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and join Liz. Now Liz is getting a couple of toasts over here. One is coming from the WebEx desktop app, and one is coming from the Jabber itself, and then one is coming from Outlook, right? So multiple things here, and when you deploy these things, obviously you got to kind of choose one, or because you don't certainly want your users to get three things. Now in the Jabber, I can go ahead again in the toast. I can join in Jabber and join in WebEx. So let's just, for Liz, let's do something differently. Let's join in Jabber. So what that's going to do is cross-launch Jabber and dial a URI, very much like the Skype for Business users are used to. This is traditionally not what Webex users are used to. They usually go and join just like Jack joined a second ago. Okay, let's mute that. Okay, I'm going to get everything out of the way here just so we can know what we're dealing with here. Now, Anson got this meeting request as well inside his Outlook, right? So we can open up that there. I just want you to see it. Okay, now, very important. Anson is a Skype for Business user. If I click this right here, that's going to launch the web browser. Okay, that's going to launch a web browser. And let's do that. Okay, let's say I don't know any better, and Anson comes in here and says, oh, okay, I'm supposed to join here. Okay, what happens if I join there? A web browser pops up, and the web app is here. I've already downloaded a little plug-in for Edge here, so I can join this way. We're all familiar with Cisco guys are familiar doing it this way, but this would be not traditional for the Skype for Business. In fact, he might say, whoa, wait a minute. I'm used to doing it a different way. Why do they want me to do it here? And if I join meeting here, what's the experience going to be? If I haven't done this before, it's going to want to download a particular plugin for my browser, and I may be able to, I may not be able to. Again, these are virtual machines, so. And here we are in the Webex web app experience, okay? I'm gonna kind of back out of here because we could join this way, no doubt, but this is different, all right, than the Skype for Business user is a custom suit. So this is different than the Skype for Business user is used to. So let's leave this meeting, and remember, one of the things that we want to do here is we want the experience for Skype for Business to seem normal. Let me show you one more thing. If I go over here, you see I have that in my calendar, but I cannot join because Skype for Business does not know, even though it's showing this invite right here, it doesn't know that this is a way to get in for Skype for Business. It doesn't know that. It can't correlate that into a Skype for Business meeting. It just is just showing. It is just showing this. Okay? Again, I can't meet here. So the only way that I can have the native experience is I open this up and I'm going to click on the right here, this link right here. Now, if I hover over that, you can see, hopefully you can see that, but that's a SIP URI. That SIP URI, this PC, Anson's PC, there's a registered app to dial SIP URIs, and guess what? It is the Skype for Business app. So if I click that, what that's going to do is cross-launch whatever application is registered on this PC to dial SIP URIs, and that is Skype for Business. Now here it is. I have one more thing I need to do here, and I need to join either with video or audio. So we'll join with video. And this looks very Skype for Business like. In fact, Anson is accustomed to this. It's nothing different than he's done before. And he's got his stage. He knows how to put his self-view away. He knows all that. Okay? Now, I waited a little too long to join. And Jack has a lock after so many minutes of the meeting being open. It will lock, and then Jack can only let people in that that are waiting in the lobby. So wait in the lobby here. We'll go ahead and admit Anson in. And we'll mute his microphone. And there we go. So we see that Jack Sparrow and Elizabeth Swan has joined. Now, things are a little bit different now. As you can see, let's just see the experience from Anson versus his native experience before. If Jack is talking, let's unmute Jack. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. Let's go back to Anson. You see Jack comes up. So it's a little bit different layout here. All right, and we don't have the option. I don't think I showed you before on the native Skype for Business, but we don't have in the native Skype for Business, we have a couple of gallery options on how to see folks here. We only have one here. We have the speaker view, and that's it. Okay, so that is the experience. Lynn's going to join as well. Okay, that was the old meeting. We'll put that away. We'll dismiss. It hasn't come up here yet, just hasn't refreshed. There it is. See, we can't join here. Same deal here. Same thing. Let's go over to our calendar. All right, we got today. There's our personal room. I didn't accept it. That's all right. Okay. Now, again, I can't click that one. I can't click this one. Now, here's something interesting. This is a SIP URI as well. And this may get confusing because this is what I don't like about this stuff. If I click that, remember, this guy is going to cross-launch. He's responsible for dialing SIP URIs. Now, will it work? It's not going to because remember, in our presentation, I showed you, it's this one right here. We have to come in this way. What we just did is the Skype for Business user dialed the URI that actually goes this way. And that's not going to work because he doesn't understand the language over here. Remember the codec differences. So he has to dial this way to get into the translated side so he can audio, video, and content share this way. All right, so that's what happened there, and we see it failed. Okay, let's go back. And instead of that URI, I'm going to hover over that real quick just so you can get a screen capture of that. You see that SIP URI. Okay, this is the same. This goes to the same meeting, just goes to the gateway. So let's click that. That's going to cross-launch Skype for Business. And this time, we're going to be okay. We'll mute our microphone there. Okay. Now, Jack has to allow her in just because we've got that. The way we've got the Webex set up is people get in the lobby there. So one more time, I just want to kind of show you the layout here. All right. Here's the default layout in the Webex app, web app. All right. Default view. Let's bring that up full screen. Default view for joining via Jabber. Okay, we have some bad video quality just because of the bandwidth. Here's the default view for a Skype for Business user. We don't get the blue bars anymore over there. Did you see that? We don't get the blue bars. If Jack is speaking and I unmute Jack, check 1 2, check 1 2. Okay, I just wanted to show you that. And then let's go over to Anson. And let's say Anson wants to chat with everybody. Okay, well first let me show you participants. Anson sees 2 participants. Why is that? There's 3 people in here. Okay, you see that? So all Anson's going to see is himself and the host. Okay, that's just the way that it is. Lynn, if we look at the participants, she's going to see herself and the host. In other words, not everything works. You're not seeing the whole participant list. So some subtle differences here. Okay, and now what if, let's say Lynn starts to, she's used to being in this and she starts to IM. Give me the link. Maybe someone's sharing something. Okay, you can see that's going nowhere. So the IM piece does not work. You know, it's voice video only. Okay, so that might throw some people off. May need some training to make sure if you're joining with your native client, this is how it's going to work. Anson doesn't even get that at all. Let's go over to Jack and let's just share something. Let's make sure that that works, okay? We'll click our share button and let's share, how about we share just our Microsoft Outlook. Okay, we can see that experience there. We're sharing. We get this bar up here. It says we're sharing on the title bar of Microsoft Outlook. We can stop there as well. Let's go look at Liz. Okay, I want to show you something interesting here. Do you see that in the native Jabber that we get there's two streams going on here. So we have the sharing content screen, and maybe I can put this on a separate video monitor, and then I got my video, my audio video going on here, so I can kind of resize these and things like that. That's a distinct difference. If we go look at Anson, let's say, and Anson in Skype for Business World, everything's in one. Everything's in one stream. In other words, when it's hitting that gateway, when the Cisco stuff is hitting that translation gateway to go over to the Microsoft clients, there's only one stream. Now it's injecting the screen share and injecting the video streams into one particular stream. So obviously we can bring that up a little bit bigger and we can resize and things like that so we can see a little bit better. But we get the content, we get all the film strip of all the video players as well. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you, the last thing I wanted to show you is, let's go over to Jack. We're going to stop sharing this guy. And let's say the Skype for Business people want to share with the Webex folks. Let's see if that works. Okay, and they're used to going right here. This is their native experience. Share your desktop. Let's share a window. And let's share, I don't know, the Teams application. All right. So it tries to do that, but look what happened down here. An error occurred during the screen presentation. So there are some documents in Cisco that say that this does work, but they're very specific in saying specific versions of Webex work. This instance here is on 33. And it also states that there's no support for it. It may or may not work, kind of deal. So I can certainly tell you from the newest version of release of Webex Meeting Center, as of 9/20/2018, the sharing from Skype for Business to Webex participants does not work, but the other way does, from Webex to Skype for Business. So I think that is it. I'll leave it there for now. I really hope this has been informative, and thank you for watching.